to go ahead and get things started off with our first round. I'm kind of holding that last box. It's okay if somebody requests and we know him, we can let him up, but I'm kind of waiting to see if Rabanus does show back up because he's having some signal issues. So kind of just give it about 10 minutes of reserve time for Rabanus. All right. So, Eden, I'm going to go ahead and mute you for just your microphone, just for now. So what we do at this stage is we actually go in order. I'm going to ask a question to the panel, and we're going to take turns in order answering the question. And that's kind of how we're going to roll from this point forward. It's going to be more structured like that. And we keep it structured like that to give people space, because not everybody is an assertive type and needs to be. We have compassion and understanding of that, so we give the space for that. All right. Hey, AZ, good to see you, bro. So tonight, great question. I'm actually going to go into depth now on what the topic is. So we're going to be talking about structuring a mindfulness practice. We're not just talking about mindfulness, guys. For those that are new, it's okay. I want you to remember this. You'll hear a lot of information. Don't overwhelm yourself. Absorb what you absorb, how you're meant to do so. And don't fret, okay? Especially if you're hearing it in this community. Most everyone on this panel, we have no problem with telling you the same thing. If you come to me next week and be like, hey, Ash, I was doing, and it really helped. Would you mind telling me what you said about this piece again? I have no problems with that. Okay? Because ultimately, that's what we're doing, is we're sharing our experiences with each other, learning through each other, with each other. Hey, Lee, welcome in. We appreciate you too. Lee's awesome peeps, guys. I've known him at least a year now. So yeah, great to see you. Right back. All right, guys. So first, we're going to look into kind of defining. And there is no right or wrong answer here, guys. Remember that. That's the beauty of this. Someone might say something that doesn't suit you in your mindfulness practice. But you need to hear that information. So always keep that kind of thing in mind, okay? There's no right or wrong answers here. This is simply about gaining a greater awareness and understanding and actually practicing what this word means. So to start off with, this is going to be a kind of little quick starter round. Of course, take your time, however it suits you, but when you hear mindfulness, when you're thinking about mindfulness, what does mindfulness mean to you? Okay, let's go ahead and make it a little extra spicy and make it a two-part question. Not only what does mindfulness mean to you, but what does it mean to you when you hear practice mindfulness? We're going to start at the top. We're going to go to Vinny, then Chris, Bren, then Beth, Dee, then Eden, down to Philip, and I'll round it off if no one's in the last box. We're going to go in that order. If you would please start us off, Vinny.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ash, for having me. And before I get started, I just want to say peace and balance and love to everybody here and in this panel and in the boxes. I didn't get a chance to say hi earlier because I was busy channeling, so that kind of gets in the way sometimes. So, what does mindfulness mean to me? What does it mean to me? It's kind of it's one of the most important things we have to remember along this journey because the energies in this journey are up and down. They're all over the place. I'm dealing with that a lot now, and that's why mindfulness kind of hits home for me. So I'm dealing with a lot of stuff right now. There's a lot of things that are up in the air, a lot of things that I just have to go with faith and remember with the mindfulness that when things get out of control or things, the energy's a little out of whack, I can use things, can remember the tools that I have so that I can keep myself mindful of my own sanity, my own journey, myself. Because if you're not caring, you got to take care of yourself. You got to be mindful of yourself, not just other people. But if you're mindful of yourself and what you do to yourself, you'll treat others better too, because you're treating yourself with the most respect and compassion you can. So part two, I guess, would be, what is it meant to practice? That's just it. It's recognizing the feelings and the things that bring us out of those peace, and being able to put into practice things that will help us keep mindful and get us back into those peace, whether it's raising your vibration, whether it's dancing, whether it's just writing, journaling. These are all things we've talked about that will all help you throughout your journey and help you get that clarity and keep that mental space a little less cloudy and all over the place, I guess, if that answers it. I think that's all I got.
I appreciate that, Vinny. Thank you, Mark. All right, Chris.
The things that I think about when I think about mindfulness, or practicing any sort of way of mindfulness, whether it's for yourself or for others, I think of in times of being silent, in times of speaking, in times of giving gratitude, respect, caring, all these lines. There's so many different ways you can really describe it, but the mindfulness is in the moments of our lives, having, in my opinion, for others, it would be having our proper discernment, which would be in that moment being what we would call our higher self, living within in our discernment what our higher self is. And so doing that for yourself also is going to reflect onto what you do for others. So if we give ourselves gratitude, if we give ourselves respect and care for ourselves, of our body, our mind, our soul, we reflect that on others. And that's what I think about when I think about mindfulness.
Appreciate you, Ruby. Y'all don't mind the hiccups. I'll get them under order here pretty soon. All right, Bryn, if you would please.
So mindfulness to me is having the consideration and being aware of not only the self, but to those in the environment around you. What mindfulness isn't is when you're using that as a means to push somebody in a way that they're not in the energy to do something. For an example, say if somebody is just wanting to relax for a bit for a long period of day, and if somebody is feeling disturbed by them being relaxed, that's not really using the mindfulness in a proper way. And being mindful for somebody who's in that state is to allow them to have their moment of rest, allow them to recover, and give them that space so that way they can rejuvenate and be able to, I would say, act at their very best. And, well, that pretty much is the example of displaying and practicing it, but the best way I would say that I practice mindfulness is to consider everybody's input, even the input of the person that is usually the quietest and never gets asked, because usually that is the individual that has the most profound insight of all of them.
Right on point with that, Bryn. We appreciate you, man. Oh, genuinely. Anytime you manage to show up and pop up, we always appreciate having you at the table here. Whew. Okay, no hiccup. We're good. Alright. So, we are going to move on to Miss Beth.
Yes. Okay.
Would you like me to repeat the questions?
Nah, I got it. So, mindfulness to me is you practicing self. It's literally you becoming aware of your body, mind, and soul. And you building that bridge in order to merge them all, in order to have that awareness and have that mindfulness. Because when I say it's a practice, it's a practice. I have to wake up every day and choose to practice it. You have to be mindful of your reactions towards others. You have to be mindful of their reactions towards you, because that teaches you a level of discernment. You have to be mindful of, it's a mediation of, is this what is best for me right now, or is this not? Should I engage? Should I not engage? It's just so much. And literally the only way I can tell you to practice it is just by every word you speak, every move you make, every action that you take. You have to be reflective. You have to be able to go within yourself and see why you did those things in order to become mindful of it, in order to become aware of that's how you move like you do. We lose the macro picture in the micro to see that our mindfulness isn't just ours. Our mindfulness, our awareness, our actions, our reactions, they ripple all the way to the edge of our known universe. We are the movement that keeps the structure moving. So we are the most important thing in the system. If we cannot be mindful, that is not a functioning system. And that's what I think of when I think of mindfulness.
Beth, you are a breath of fresh air. Like,
I love you.
Do you? I just need you to have this and understand that in me, you literally, just your presence, just by entering the room, I feel a lightening in my chest.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry already, Ash.
My gratitude, Miss Beth. Thank you for being here with us. I'm not trying to make you cry, but express yourself is cool.
How about Pisces? You can't do that to water.
I'm a Cancer. We'll cry together and laugh. It's good. All right, D. Mindfulness, bro.
I'd say mindfulness is, like everyone's saying, like practicing every day, being aware of how we affect ourselves, how we affect others, how we're feeling and thinking can be a cause and effect in everything we do. It can create a reaction, or it can create a ripple effect that can be good or bad, or it can be a learning experience. Given how we how we are thinking about it, how we're really being in a place of mindfulness is understanding like you don't want to have some manners, have some decorum, like being able to be in a way of peace, calmness, joy, and just stay in those type of moods, or being aware of when we're not feeling so great, or and feeling down, even knowing that when we have situations that come in and happen, that certain situations have to play out to be a lesson to be more mindful or be more aware and open and receiving of what it is that we need to stay focused on. So I feel, in a nutshell, mindfulness is something like as we practice and do every single day on a perspective in a way that we always want to always pump out or put out those happy, awesome vibes, no matter where we go, and to be aware of when those vibes aren't being fully received sometimes, or when we may feel triggered and it takes us off that vibration or that feeling. And so I feel mindfulness is something of more of just getting in the flow of always being constantly aware of how we affect others and how others affect us. I'm gonna end with that.
He sailed that one. He sailed that one across the skyline. You just watched it in that glorious sunset go. Ah, beautiful, D. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashay.
All right. Ashay. Miss Eden, it is your turn. The questions are to you. Take your time with it.
It's what everyone said, but it's easy said than doing the work. I mean, where we have to consciously always watch our words. Sometimes by habit we could do something and it might affect someone else. And
Can I open dialogue with you, Eden?
Yeah.
Would you like that? Yeah? Okay. So, one, thank you for allowing me to join you. This is your time and space right now. So, I appreciate that. And two, I totally understand where you're coming from and that perspective that you're viewing it. And when you look at that perspective, doesn't that feel daunting? Doesn't that seem like really like monumental to study your every word like that?
it can, but
It does.
you have
right?
to watch what you say, right? Because words can reflect or it can actually hurt someone else.
How about we shift our perspective on it then for a moment? Okay? We're doing the same thing because, right, that we're in agreement on that.
Yeah.
100% what you're saying, I'm flying with you. I understand what you're saying. So, looking at it, it's like this. It's not meant to be daunting. It's not meant to be scary and put us in fear. It's instead meant to be empowering. Because I recognize that the divine, that's the divine in all of us, the divine, is only doing it for us through love. And so in that recognition, I understand that if I'm seeing it as daunting, it's because I need to shift my perspective to a higher one. Because when I do that, I see the true love and freedom in it. The power and the control and the will of the choice. Every word I get to make a choice and create. The floor is yours.
Well, everything I've seen to this day was never positive for me. I was always like pushed, like no one really listened to what I have to say, so I thought my word didn't mean anything. So I guess maybe I should have just stayed a hermit.
No. It's okay. You're good. One, there's no uncomfortable silence here. Two, you're doing amazing, Eden. I get
It's
it.
Dia.
Dia?
Dia means light.
Dia. I like that. That's beautiful. Thank you.
It's Sanskrit for light.
That's amazing. I appreciate that. Thank you for correcting that.
I guess our names have something to do with who we are.
Oh, they do. They do, right?
They tell our story.
Right? It's the beauty of it. Well, I appreciate you so much, Dia, for answering the question and riding with us, because I know, it's a little shaky.
Yeah.
But stick around and understand that you are very much so welcome here and appreciated and valued. And like you said, your words do hold meaning. So we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Philip. Hey, bro. Welcome up.
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me. It's that's interesting. Her mind is probably quite full of a lot of stuff. She just wants to share all of it at once. Yeah, I don't know. You know me, Fire Ash. I don't join lives much and talk, because you have to be mindful.
So
Sorry.
that is highly appreciated, Philip. Thank you.
I like to be social. Being social is a good thing for your health as well. You have to be around the right people, of course. Yeah, mindfulness. It's a state of being. We all have many states, I guess, in simultaneously. Like, we are intricate beings. So, yeah, being mindful when speaking to others really helps. That's, to me, being mindful is having too much to think about. And I forgot the other question. Sorry.
No apologies needed here. You know that. It was mindfulness practice or practicing mindfulness.
Okay. Yeah. So, I guess letting the mind have a rest occasionally helps. Yeah. It is an important part of the body, and we rest other parts of our body, go to day spas or whatever people do. But yeah, so resting the mind, meditation, I guess.
That's epic. That's epic. All right, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Philip. And yeah, I know you don't get up much on panels and you don't really put a lot of words into the world. So I know that for us, we just appreciate it that much more that you do come up here and speak with us.
It's just trying to be mindful. You know, I have to make an appearance occasionally. And
Hey,
my
same.
my brother Crystal Chris, he's a guy to follow, definitely. Yeah, I just gotta be mindful, and it helps. Yeah.
Thank you, Philip. You rock. AZ, welcome up, welcome in. Long
What's
time
up,
no
guys?
hear.
Man, I was out cold. I was out cold. I was sleepy. And then I woke up and then I got a message from Crystal Chris, and I said, "Ooh, I'm gonna come over here." Yeah, this is a beautiful topic. This is one of the ones that we talk here on TikTok a lot. Mindfulness. Beautiful. Everybody that shared here in the panel, they're on point, and that's the thing about it. One thing is that we have this power, which is empathy. And empathy, we can feel people's emotions and such. And as a kid, I always remember my mother, telling me, when I'm arguing with my brother, put yourself in your brother's shoes, and I will think about it and be like, okay, so if I put my in his shoes, what do you mean? It's mindfulness is that it's looking at things in other individuals perspective. A practice that I've done is mindfully listening. In other words, I listen, observe, and watch individuals and see their perspectives, their journeys, and the things that they discuss here on TikTok. And I get to learn each one and each individual's their journeys and where they're at the moment. So when I do that, I do understand, where they're coming from. So basically, to me, mindfulness is that, understanding that I'm at the present moment, like here in this panel here tonight, and this instance right here tonight, the Eden, it's great to see you. This moment here right now is an instance where I am here experiencing this discussion, this question that's being asked about mindfulness. And this moment right now could be the same moment somebody else has been, or somebody else in the future will be. So the theme of mindfulness will be self-love, being resilient and empowering myself with the words and being here in the present moment and be aware that I should allow myself to be myself, authentic in 100%, because if I allow myself to be authentic in who I am in this moment, being mindful of my truthfulness, I encompass that truthfulness amongst everybody because we all can then, be genuine to ourselves. Um, and what I'm saying is mindfulness is allowing myself to see things, being aware that my words can be triggers that I should not ever trigger anybody. I need to embrace everybody the same way I expect. Well, I don't expect, it's just a natural flow. It's just a flow. I don't expect it. I just know that if I walk in the true essence of being genuine, it will be I'm surrounding myself with just-minded individuals. Does that make sense? So in other words, I encompass my truthfulness, and truthfulness it surrounds me. So being mindful is letting me be aware that at the moment, no matter where I'm at or being asked of a question such as this question, is this tool that we have to be mindful is a powerful tool because it shows us that we all can have gratitude for one another and not expect much from one another. But the aspects of responding in truthfulness is the key. So observation, listening, getting a journal, writing down one, two, three, as many things you can look on a day-to-day basis to be grateful about, to have gratitude about, will give you the understanding that we are mindful when we care of every action that we do for one another. Because that's the thing about it. The key is walk the talk, So if we are in a spiritual journey, I am being mindful of my journey and I am observant and I allow them to journey as well on their own journey. So, I'm going to cut it short because, I don't want to repeat, but it's basically being in the present moment and understanding that whatever I do can impact another. And my impact for another will be inspiration versus anything else. Any negativity will never come out of my mouth because I'm inspiring. And as I inspire, others will inspire me. So we are the spark for one another.
Out the park, KZ, out the park. Like, bro, did you leave any room for the second helping? Like, dang. Right? Right, Beth. I got you. No, I appreciate that. We all do. Exactly. Rubanus, we appreciate your presence here, man. I know that you had some connection issues and weren't here for the actual questions. So let me tell you real quick. This first round, what we did was a little two-part question. First part being, what is mindfulness to you? And the second part being, when you hear practice mindfulness or mindfulness practice, what does that bring to your mind?
Oh, hang on. So you know what the mess up thing is? That I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, and and I realized that I will do everything I can for my family and friends. You know, it's really interesting, like seeing the future, and or not just seeing future, but like seeing the just being like, okay, just being grateful for once, you know, and just and doing the things that you need to do in order to allow yourself to become more, to do more. And yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, there wasn't really any I don't know. I wish there was like more I could say about that, but there isn't.
It's okay. That's why I said it was a quick two-part. You get what I'm saying? And we appreciate what you had to say anyways, Rabonis, you know? Be authentic. And if your authenticity means that you speak 12 words now and 50 words next round and 0 the last, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's 0 expectations at this table. 0. None. But there is love. There is truth. There is community. All right, guys. So the beauty of getting into this first round in that question is that every single one of us have a device, ability to be here in this moment together. And in doing so, we are actively practicing mindfulness in this moment. We could all go and Google the definition of what mindfulness is, and you will get a very neat description of what you just heard and experienced firsthand. Being here, present in the moment, fully aware to your level of awareness of this here and now. Understanding that the past is no longer here and the present or the future is yet to come. That literally all you have is this moment, this island, this life, this energy exchange where you are. We will be doing, towards the end, we will be doing an actual mindfulness practice. This is not anything that is going to be putting anyone on exhibit. It will be done by your own choice of participation. And I'm choosing to do this because the focus tonight is not just mindfulness, but it is the body. The body, the mind, the soul of mindfulness. Tonight we are talking about the body. The body is the first line of defense. Everything that you are perceiving and receiving comes through the body first. So we are talking about the nitty-gritty here. I understand people like the beautiful, inspiring words and all that. I do too, guys, I do too. But you know what else I like? The practice of them. And that's what I don't see enough of out in the community, so that's what I'm bringing to the community. It's what I can do, is show you what I'm doing. Not that it's right, not that it's wrong, it's just what I'm doing. I recognize that in doing these things, I've only seen benefit. And so I take this chance with this beautiful community and challenge them all to be here through this mindfulness practice with us. Now, there's nothing wrong with not accepting a challenge if you're not ready for it. But I don't think any of y'all are not ready for tonight in this practice. Going into this second round, we're going to get more into the body aspect of it. And we're going to look at what are the physical benefits that we actually see, experience, know of, have, firsthand accounts of. What are the actual benefits to a mindfulness practice? Okay, and how about, I feel like I might be putting the cart in front of the horses there with that one. How about we go ahead and lay out some of the tools we use in the trade of a mindfulness practice before we go into the benefits of it. Let's actually go into the tools of it. So I want everyone to remember that these are not the only tools. No tools that we recommend are meant in any way, shape, or form to do anything other than help. If you hear something that sounds harmful to you, do not do it. Use your proper discernment. Your intuition is your first key component listen to it. Okay? Mindfulness practice here. Yes, be mindful. We don't have to revoke. We don't have to ick someone else's yum. Let's simplify it to that point. We don't have to ick someone else's yum, okay? Just be conscious and aware of what's not for you and don't pick it up. Now let's move forward. Vinny, we're gonna start with you, bro.
All right. So
What are
the
some
question
of
is,
your mindfulness practices, your tools of the trade for mindfulness?
okay, well, you touched on it. Intuition's huge, right? That inner voice. Let me tell you, that inner voice, it'll get you out of more gyms than it'll get you into. So that's one of them. But in order to, like Asriel said, in order to hear that, in order to be aware of that, you have to be present. So that means you have to be mindful of where your mind is, right? I know it sounds silly to say it that way, but you do. You know, what are you thinking about? When this situation's coming up, what were you thinking about? What's going on? Maybe you were thinking about something else. You should have been paying
Take it
attention.
back to the body, though. We're going to stay in the
Okay.
body right now.
Okay. I'm sorry. So yeah, and then I don't know, for me, like, it's noticing the signs, right? If I feel like I'm getting agitated, or I feel like I have to yell, or if I get that feeling in my stomach, it's almost like a knot. And that knot, if I let it build, it becomes very uncomfortable until the point where, yeah, you have to let that energy out. So just being aware and being able to notice those signs, you know, are you shaking? You know, is your ears ringing? You know, things like that. These are all things that can help you, give you signs of what you may need to be paying attention to or not to, in that sense. I guess those are some of the mindfulness tools that I or the whatever what the question was, I forgot by now, but you understand what I mean, I hope.
Yeah. And I appreciate you. And you know you don't have to apologize. And what you're saying was great. It's valid. It's just a couple episodes ahead of the program is all, bro. We're
Yeah, my
talking about
mind
the body.
goes there sometimes. My mind jumps ahead. That's my mind always likes to jump ahead and figure it out before everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Totally understand that perspective. Totally. All right, Chris's crystals. Broby.
Can you repeat the question, please?
I surely can. So we're talking about our actual mindfulness practices right now, in that way of focusing body and just kind of what ways we actually practice mindfulness in the body in our day-to-day kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's trying to keep my own chemical balance straight, you know, within my body itself. I mean, we subconsciously, without even thinking about it, have lots of mindfulness of the body itself, a lot more than we do of the mind usually, naturally. The reason I'd say that is we just don't like to sprain an ankle. We don't like to, trip over things. We are mindful of how we step and go around and walk around things, and it happens naturally. But we also need to be mindful of maybe even the different intakes that we need depending on the amount of sun that we get throughout the season. So, like for me, I started taking vitamin D probably a month ago, just because I know that I'm not getting near as much sun as I do throughout the rest of the year. So I'm being mindful of my chemical intake, whether I can receive it naturally or I have to do a supplement to keep up with it. But I like how Vinny was talking about intentions. I know this kind of goes into the mind as well, but it's all symbolic. We still have to think about the things that we want to achieve, even if we're trying to change something with the body to be better for ourselves. So those intentions, having, even just being grateful, triggers those emotions so as simple as it is, being grateful for your legs, being grateful for the things that we can do to be able to go experience the lives that we have without having all the sensations that are attached to every limb and everything that we have on these bodies. We just wouldn't be able to define for ourselves what a full experience is. So being grateful for the body, I think just that energy itself is a healing energy. It's a motivating energy. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Bobby. And yeah, for sure. That's the beauty of the intuition. It's built in to the system, so it actually connects with all three: body, mind, and soul. I love it. Hey, Edio, welcome back in, bro. All right, Rubanus, your turn. Hi.
Well, I want to say one thing about, like, I just got off the phone again with a friend of mine, and he does tarot card reading. And even though, like, it's the holidays and everything like that, you just need to take a breath and realize that everything is going to be okay, even though it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. I'm just glad to have, again, gratefulness. My family and the people I have here. I'm kind of out of it. Like, it's been really interesting recently. Is this whole entire timeline that we're on. So, yeah. But I think we're gonna be good. I think we're good to go.
Is that big? I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Beth's comment, y'all. Don't mind me. Beth just gets me in the giggles sometimes.
Yeah, I really am trying to breathe, and it's very.
No. Have you grounded? Like, have you been stuck in grounding?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I got you after the live, okay?
All right.
Yeah, what? Can I get on that mailing list too, Beth?
I'm just really good with grounding energy. Like with Rab, his energy is more like he would have to have a lightning rod. He would have to have a rod to ground. But sometimes those rods need to be changed. And the visual needs to be modified just a little bit in order to help. So it's just all about moving that energy. Sorry, that was not the topic.
Did anybody else just appreciate that as much as I did? I just like how she just said that. She just said it like it's like, yeah. Thank you, Beth, because that's yeah, that's what you're doing. You're moving energy.
Yeah, I mean that's what we have to do. It has to stay moving, or it gets stagnant. You have to recognize that's part of mindfulness is recognizing when you are stagnant and how to move those blocks. And that's one thing that I really hope that I kind of incorporate into our community is how to do that by me being the example of showing everyone a better way to ground.
%.
Yeah.
Repeat the question for me, though. I just lost it.
No, I don't want to. Can I just like not? Can I just? I'm kidding. Fine. Okay, Ash is human too.
I know.
No, so the questions were about daily practice mindfulness in the body. Okay, so ways that you practice mindfulness daily in the body.
We have to remember that our body is an anchor. Our body is our vessel. Our body is what holds us to this planet in order for us to experience the experience in the way we are. If we did not have the body and it was not anchored, we would not be experiencing this in the same way or in the same potentiality, if you understand what I'm saying. When I look at mindfulness, I look at you being able to put together the puzzle or the fractalizations of reality enough to actually see the inner reality, the bigger actual macro picture of it all. So when you're practicing it, I like to, anytime that something sticks out to me, pokes out to me, anytime I say something, anytime that, my mind just catches on to something, I normally, number one, symbolize it. What is it? What does that mean to me? And then I fractalize it and look at the duality of it. And that's me being mindful and putting it into a reflective manner so that I'm not looking at you or I'm not looking at the thing. I'm looking at where do I see the thing in myself. And honestly, that's what mindfulness really is. I mean, when we get down to it, it's can we reflect? But can we honestly, authentically reflect? I mean, we know we can half-ass it, but can we honestly be truthful with ourselves and do it? And that's when you know that you have become mindful and aware of yourself. That's when you can do that. Because that's when you become aware of others.
Because that's
you. I'm so sorry.
Just because that's when you become aware of the others. Is when you have gotten so mindful, meaning your mind is so full of the self and understanding the self and seeing the self, that the self is then seeing the other and seeing the reflection in that other. What Beth just explained to you is the actual system of the growth of awareness. The beauty of that is very profound, and we appreciate you, Beth. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I just appreciate being here.
Yeah. We feel it. We feel it. All right, D. The questions are to you, bro. Your daily mindfulness practice in the body.
I had to say, gesticulars like breath work within the body. Like when we notice something's going off, let's say we feel dis-ease, we like to make sure like it's attributed to more than just an ailment that we go seek the doctor for. So mindfulness is a way where when we are feeling and experiencing a physical experience within the body, within the temple of disharmony or imbalances, it can lead to something much more like stress. So let's say, you're feeling problems in your stomach or your spleen or your kidneys in the stomach area or the base of your spine. We can attribute the Virgo is the spine, or Capricorn energy is the teeth, the skin, the bones. Aries is the head. Sagittarius, the legs, the feet, Pisces. So when we take and break it down in a way of being mindful and aware of what is actually happening in our everyday moment, day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, when we have any kind of thing that's going on, we can always attribute, breath work, yoga. We can better look at what we actually need to do to actually fix or put ourselves at ease with those type of sensations or symptoms. So like even when we're around others and we're feeling dis-ease or feeling negative emotions and feelings that we know that don't belong to us, we can easily alchemize the energy on a faster rate, understanding that we're just having experience. So I would say practicing mindfulness every day within the body is definitely a good way. I would say other ways you could do that would be, like I said, being aware, meditation, breath work, but setting boundaries, having strong boundaries, and being aware when those boundaries are being crossed, when they're being, trespassed in a way that we can't allow. It takes us from that mindfulness, or it takes us from it causes imbalances or disharmony within us. So it's another way we can look at it, how it affects us within our body. You can always look at how you feel before you meet someone, and then when they walk away, you think about it. Call physically, talking to them, being around them spiritually. When they leave, pay attention to how you feel when they got there, and then when they leave, and understand that not everyone's for you. Because on our journey right now, as we're using discernment, and we know that the agent of chaos is not going to always be the most crazy looking person in the room. They may be the most smiling, happiest person that may be around you. So by being mindful and aware on how our body reacts and feels to the universe, to others, to just our essential waking up and routines, it allows us to be able to be more tuned and more aware and astute to what the changes we need to make on an everyday, every moment, every second basis. I land my plane there, as they say, or I set my son there.
Right. I appreciate that, D, like immensely. And I value the way you listed some of those things out, because some of those very things are literally my lifesavers. They are the key essentials that when I fall to my lowest point, they're some of the only techniques and methods that can actually help rebuild and get back up. So like for me personally, you just kind of like gave me that reminder. Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's what I love about our basics and our fundamentals. They're there because it's meant to keep us growing and going. And so when we look at it as not as a hindrance, but look at it as a way of staying, keeping ourselves humble, keeping ourselves in that awareness of grace and mercy, allowing ourselves to be able to always relate back to those things because it's going to always be key. No matter what, we can always have a great day. We can know the most advanced or the most special techniques in the world that can, stop and change someone's reality. But if we remember our basics and fundamentals and we practice that and let it become a muscle memory, that mindfulness then becomes, it transforms, it elevates. So that you are just literally walking and breathing in that vibration. I'll think about seeing it. But yeah.
Heck yeah, I appreciate that. For sure. I love the tapping technique. In fact, like Chris, Rabanus, D, anybody who's been in a video call with me, who's like in my life, they can tell you that you'll literally see me sitting there tapping my chest, tapping my gland. Okay? That gland right there in your chest, you'll see me sitting there doing tapping. And I have zero issues with it because the ease that it does allow me to create, I'm grateful for. So yeah. We are going to move on to Carlos. Welcome up, welcome in, Carlos. We'll
Thank you.
go back after Rabanus. We'll talk after Carlos's turn. Yeah, no problem. Welcome in.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me out. What was the question?
So
Could
we're
you repeat
talking. Yeah, no problem. We're talking about mindfulness practice right now, and we're talking about kind of in our own daily life practice, ways that we practice mindfulness in the body.
Okay, perfect. As a matter of fact, since you invited me, I was doing it just at this moment in meditation. Closed my eyes. I have my headphones in, and I was just hearing you guys speak. And what's interesting is that I salute the divinity within each and every one of you, because I heard something that I could resonate with. So that's usually what I do, right? It's more of an awareness. Just stay still and not really focus on the thoughts, but just observing them. Another thing that I like to do is walk in nature. I don't know, it's something about the trees, the wind, breathing the fresh air, and journaling. Those would be, I guess, my top 3.
That's epic. That's epic. Well-rounded top 3. I don't know if you would mind sharing. It's okay if you don't want to talk about it. But how long would you say that you've been practicing that regimen?
It's funny. I can't really put a date on it. I used to view the world in one way. I blamed many people. And then one day I just went in. Things started being dark out here. I went within. I realized it all stemmed from me. And things just changed. The way I spoke changed. The way I saw things changed. I heard everybody saying the same thing. And it was beautiful. Sorry if that doesn't answer your question, though.
There's no need to apologize. Because you did answer my question. You were authentic. So there is no need to apologize. And we appreciate that. And we appreciate you, Carlos. Thank you for being up here with us tonight.
Thank you.
Please stick with us.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to go to Philip. Hello, Philip. Okay, y'all. So before Philip comes on, because Philip says so few words, I just want to say that Philip gets to practice mindfulness in a completely different way, unique to a lot of people, because he has the most amazing family of dogs and family, and there's 30 of them, and so you always hear life in different stages around him, and that's something that I genuinely appreciate. So without further ado, here's our brother Philip. Thank you, bro.
Hi guys. I might be quick because it's kind of is noisy at the moment. It's just about 2:00. I like to remember what my nana said to me a lot. I don't really like remembering it, but it's kind of imprinted into my mind to sit up straight. And I kind of learnt in my later years that I've got lazy and I would stretch while I was sitting down. So now every day I reach up as high as I can to the sky just to give my body that proper kind of stretch. And I don't know, I guess it kind of helps the skin in a way. And drinking water.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And oh my gosh, did he just make a beautiful point? And let's bring this to the mindfulness. The beauty of how we grow. Okay, so we all were told things like sit up straight as children. Now, I am not placing blame, guys, because my mother did her best to her level of awareness in telling me that. Now, her thing is that she didn't know how to actually teach me how to properly sit up straight and position my spine correctly over my hips to actually properly align myself. It's not about being a ramrod, straight, uncomfortable, stiff. No, it was that there is an actual method for both male and female alike that we sit, that we're meant to sit, that actually creates a relief and allows for a proper channel and flow and release of energy into the earth and a cycling. So in that very thing there, it goes into, well, they were told to do it and they did their best, but nobody ever taught them. So they just did there. You get what I'm saying? So that's where we come through, and we're in the new world, and we have our level of awareness, and we can look back and say, you know, I'm really grateful. I am grateful that my grandmother and my mother told me that, because there is a deep divine truth in the way my very vessel is designed, that just through changing my posture, I can better align my energy to that divine flow. Yeah. Drives home. We appreciate you, Philip. And like I said, for a man of few words, they are always valued, and we appreciate you. Easy.
Oh. I'm just learning all this about spirituality, so I guess it's important for me to share for other people that are just learning as well.
Yeah, bro, but you also help me learn too. Do you see, you help connect dots, things that I might have missed 30 steps ago, and through that connection that you just brought to me, I'm able to better, deeper understand these other 30 steps that weren't making sense. You get what I'm saying?
That's right. Then you end up really mindful.
Right. This is an awesome night. I appreciate all of y'all being here. All right, AZ, it is your turn, bro. We are talking about our Well, you know what we're talking about. You got
Oh
this.
yeah, I didn't mean to giggle. I just get excited because what we're doing right now, and I think it was Crystal Chris that mentioned it, or I forgot who it was. Is what we're doing right here, right now. Us. It might have been you. It might have been you, Fire Ash. It's what we're doing in this panel here. As we mute and just listen to each individual in the panel, including yourself. And those that are observing the comments. We're being mindful. And this is the practice that we need to understand. I'm not sure. If it was Carlos or somebody in this panel also mentioned something. Being in the moment in meditation and just listening, observing, because yeah, Vinny even said it, observation. Observation is the key because a lot of us get this thing. It's sparks. We're constantly getting sparks, and these sparks, it's like us daydreaming. We got our mind running 100 miles per hour because I want to say this and that. So, we always tend to have action on action. So, the action that we receive, whether it's a word of wisdom, a word of inspiration, it's an action that we feel, oh, we have to act on that action. But yet, when we allow ourselves just to resonate, slow ourselves down, it allows us to appreciate and accept details that we may overlook at times. So that mindfulness is awareness. Having that awareness, have that conscience present in the moment allows us to fully engage with what is happening right now. Because when we look into what could be in the future, or what happened in the past to create us to be nervous, we gain a lot of unnecessary anxiety. But when we're right here in this moment, like this live stream that's happening right here, we can feel and appreciate the positive energy that's flowing through the whole panel, through the host, you even speaking, and those in the comments. These are inspirations that are very inspiring and very uplifting for all of us. Because I get sparked. I don't get excited because I'm excited 24/7. Trust me, no, I get excited because the company that I'm around, every time that I'm in the presence of you guys, no matter what, I gain compassion and I reset. I say like, whoa, this is recharge. I'm recharging ourselves. So being mindful, think of being mindful. It's overlooked, but being mindful is like a prescription that we can give to ourselves on our spiritual journey when we feel fatigued. All the time we get fatigued. Oh my, I had all these downloads. I'm so tired. Be mindful, you will not be tired. You will appreciate the wisdom that you have received. You're nourishing your soul, your body, and your mind. Once you're mindful, you're tuning into the senses of everything, your thoughts, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, and what you touch. It's keeping you grounded in the very moment of where you're at right now. Think of it in the presence, being mindful in the presence, we could pre-send any intention, anything that we want to appreciate and actually have manifest in front of us in this very present. We can always pre-send it out there. So when the time comes, we're going to receive it. So observation, observing not only our thoughts, but the thoughts of others and what they're saying without judgment. Let us to a place where we can see things happening like clouds in the sky. When we see all these clouds floating through the sky, and we're like, wow, that looks like this, and that looks like a dragon, and that looks like a kid dancing. You know what I'm saying? We allow ourselves that imagination to flow when we are mindful. And I'm talking about not only mindful within ourselves, but mindful for the company you are in. And that's what mindfulness is all about. And I appreciate this, Fire Ash. Thank you so much for this discussion here today, and Crystal Chris for sending out the invitation. Also,
You're
I hate to cut abruptly, but it's just that I have to also be mindful for everybody. So I do want to give everybody an opportunity.
we totally get it and appreciate it, and no problem, Macy. Just one of those rare moments where you stop talking and the song had stopped, so everybody was kind of like, oh, noise stopped. And it made us mindful of it for a moment. Right? Let's see if I can get Carlos back up here. I don't know if he's got connection issues or what's going on with that, but we can work with it. So, in essence, what we've been looking at right now so far tonight is ways that we can be more mindful. And I specified in the body because I genuinely wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear those practices that ultimately help us not just treat the symptom, okay? Not just cope with the symptom, okay? But to actually heal it and balance it, to be able to put it back at ease through our own will. Correctly appropriating our control and power to the level of that mindfulness. In recent studies, and I'm going to keep this generalized and say this was done by a very big corporation. It is something that is easy to find videos on YouTube or Google the information about, okay? All that information is easy to obtain. The point is the actual study is what I want to bring into the mindfulness. And it is a study they did on rats. And in this study, they took male rats and female rats. And they had control rats. And then they had the study rats. Now the study rats were put in this environment of this cherry blossom tree. Anyone who's ever experienced the fragrance of a cherry blossom tree, you know that they are very beautiful and impactful if it's a scent that you enjoy, you know? It's a very pungent scent. And what they did is they gave them freedom to take shelter and nourishment, and they frolicked and enjoyed this cherry blossom tree. And then they introduced, after a certain amount of time, horrendous pain and created trauma in all of these male rats, to the point that these male rats would not go back around the tree, to the point that they wouldn't even go within the scent range of a cherry blossom, because they associated it with that horrendous pain. And then they took these rats and they bred them with females that had been through their own controlled system as well. And what they found was, no matter which parent it came from, trauma takes 7 generations in rats to be forgotten. That for 7 generations of rats born, for unbeknownst reasons to them, they had an inherent fear of that cherry blossom tree and that scent. Now, recognizing that science backs up ancient teachings is a beautiful thing, of course. But that brought to my mindfulness a different thought pattern. See, what you just told me is that there is an actual way of tracing it. And to me, if there's a way of tracing it, that means there's a way of sourcing it. And if there's a way of sourcing it, then there's a way of healing it. Because that is what root work is. That is what shadow work is. That is what mirror work is. It's not that we make these triggers disappear exactly. It's that instead we reprogram. We go through the root work, tracing the triggers through the trauma, through the baggage, and we get into that shadow work deep down in there at the core of where that wound center is, right in the middle. Now, what we do there naturally, typically, before we apply our level of awareness, is we just relive that memory. We refeel those feelings, we refeel that experience, all that. Okay? Doesn't matter if it was 20 minutes ago, 20 years ago. Now what we do is we recognize, okay, we're here, but we are no longer that being that was there. We are the being we are now, capable of giving that being that we were in that situation the love and the compassion that it needed in that situation that caused the trauma in the first place. And it is not that it goes without practice. Is that not why they say the devil's hands, the idle hand is the devil's play toy, something like that? For the Christian buffs, y'all would know the saying better, but you know what I'm referencing here with the idle hands. We're not meant and designed in here to be in just a bliss state of nirvana and luxury. Yes, we're here to bring heaven to earth through our daily practice of living it. That is not without stumbles. And one of the guarantees we have is that we will all change. We will all grow. So we're going to go one more round here. And I would like to ask you all, and I'll give you a few moments to answer, Vinny, okay? I want to give a little fairness here and have an intermission while Vinny gets a few moments to think on this one. But in what ways could you implement mindfulness in this current existence, in this reality, in this here and now for the betterment? In what ways are you looking to grow in that way? I want to know what brings the harmony, what you see brings the fulfillment.
Greeting and love and light to everybody.
Hello, one. Welcome in, welcome up. So how we roll here is we'll kind of go in order. I know this is your first time up here that I'm aware of, so I'll go ahead and give you the quick little skivvy of what we do. So we have a round table here where we basically sit amongst our friends, our community, our peers, and we discuss from a higher perspective, from the highest vibration we can bring to the table as equals, as divine reflections, a current spiritual topic. Tonight we are discussing mindfulness practice focused in the body, and our current round and question on the table is ways that you can implement mindfulness yourself to help expand that vibration. We're going to start at the top. We're going to go down the line. We're going to go from Vinny to Chris, Rabanus to Beth, D to 1, Philip to AZ. I'm going to give Vinny a few seconds. Chris, can you entertain us with charades or something?
Well, no, I got it. Because if you give me any much more, I'm going to lose it. So, all right. So here goes. Yeah, I got this. So here goes. So ways that I think the question was that I could implement it for what I want to see and balance and harmony and what I do and what I want to learn. So just one of the ways that I implement it is through what I write, i.e. poetry, right? That helps me bring the awareness when you talk about, going back to these situations that we've been a part of or we've had happen to us, and we have to do that shadow work. That helps me because it allows me to take allows me to revisit the moment without taking on the extras that come along with that revisiting, and able to turn it into something better, a more positive memory, or a different direction. I have a feeling that, when we do these things where we look back on things with mindfulness and try to, learn from our choices and our situations and all that stuff, I think the look back is just, that's our higher self going back in time to that moment where we were and giving ourselves a different perspective to help us at that moment. Whether or not we listen to it, that's another thing. But that's just my feeling in that. And just being mindful of when you have these thoughts, you have these feelings, where are they coming from, right? We all understand that we have a higher mind and a lower mind, right? A lower mind does crazy crap. So, when these things when we're mindful of stuff and these things come up, where's it coming from? Is it really from our higher self? Are these things that are pushing it, are they from our higher self, or is it from a lower scared self or an egoic self that doesn't want to give up control? Just take that step back and maybe give yourself 5 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute, 30 seconds, whatever, just to shift your perspective outside of the situation you're in to that higher perspective, right? Where you can walk on water and it doesn't matter what's below your feet. You have the perspective, you can see the whole board, everything from where you're at. That God mind or that God self, right? Looking at things with the God self through God's eyes, with that love in your heart, right? And making sure that you're taking care of yourself. Most important, right? Because if you don't love yourself and you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will. So you are your support system, and you are your cheerleader, and you are everything you need to be successful. You just have to have the trust in yourself that you can find the way and you can manage this. And by the looks of how many people here, I think a lot of us are doing a great job, because we wouldn't be here if we weren't. We'd still be lost somewhere trying to ask dumb questions and trying to figure out answers in a society that's stacked up against people who want to think for themselves. So I think that's where I'm going to land my plane there.
Chris, he landed his plane.
That was beautiful, Vinny. Thank you. So it's my turn. Implementing mindfulness to be better. Is that what you said? Or for the better?
Yeah, for the greater good.
For the greater good. Well, everything we do creates an effect and a ripple effect of the greater good, or the opposite of that, depending on technically what duality we sit at, if we were able to put that on a scale. But within ourselves, that's where all the change really happens. That's going to ripple from us. It comes from us inside and what we generate. So I think something that I need to do more often is more self-affirmations. I need to be proud of myself more in situations. Generate that energy constantly through things that I've already achieved, to help me achieve the next things that I need to. So, for me, it's in my life right now, it's finding time to be able to do the things that I enjoy. And I'm on a 5-year plan for that, which, it still means working, it still means doing things, but it's shifting shifting into being able to financially do the things that I enjoy as well. And, it took me a long time in my life to find those things that I really, really enjoyed. So it's taken even a little bit longer to be able to try to shift into that as well. And I think that's what life's really about, is just finding the things that you really enjoy and doing them, and then just having a wonderful experience. We get stuck in societal things that really do drag us down, because we're almost in a sense forced to do things that we don't enjoy, because we have to in a certain extent. So I think it takes time to really find the things that we do enjoy, and it's just amazing if we can actually go do them. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that I already practice. For some reason, my brain kept stumbling earlier on the rounds, and I would just shut down. But every night I give gratitude to the things that are going on in my life in the moment, and also the things that I really love and enjoy. And I give gratitude to the universe, to the divine, to the collective, and it allows me to, it's really changed my dreams, first off, to having amazing dreams. But also when I wake up, that's the first thing I think about. I don't have to force those thoughts. I do when I go to sleep, so that's the practice. But after that, it already sets my energy when I wake up in the morning. So I think that's a good practice that I already do, that I'm going to continue, I guess. But I need more self-affirmations for sure. And as far as mindfulness, any mindfulness that we can perceive within ourselves, we're also going to be able to perceive in others. So if we're kind to our own thoughts, our own ways of life, we can also be kind to the others. It's the same reflection. Everything we do and all of our actions is a reflection of our own inner thoughts. So that's where it starts. And, it really changes the perception of what we see, how we feel. It starts changing the perception of other people of what they see and how they feel of you as well. It's definitely a different exchange. Yeah, I'm gonna drop it there, but thank you.
Before you drop it there, could you answer a question for me? A genuine question.
Yes.
Do you think that I'm always channeling from my highest perspective when I'm up here?
I think everybody has, I mean, I do. Yeah. I mean, I haven't.
That's a genuine question, and I genuinely wanted your perspective on it.
Yeah, I've never thought any different than that.
Okay, so here's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it because that's insightful. Guys, this is my best friend. He's my broby. Okay? Like, my kids, like his kids and stuff. I would say they play together, but he's got babies and mine are 13 and 18. So, yeah. Point is he's somebody who does know me, and that's how he feels it. And here's the truth of it. I am not always fully connected in my highest channel, but I am always mindful that is what I need to represent, even if I am not in that channel. So anything that I'm coming up here saying, if it does happen to be one of those moments where I am not directly in that channel, I am still going to hold myself accountable to that level of mindfulness.
I agree. And what I meant by that is when we talk about in the moment, yes, I believe that you're always in your highest channel of that moment. Meaning, like, that brings to the intuition. You're coming in with the intuition to be your highest self of that moment. We only live in the moment. So I believe that you're always in that highest channel of you in that moment, which is always amazing. Like, you've always been authentic, and that's one reason why we vibe so well. So
I appreciate you, Ruby, but what I wanted to say to you is this. With all of that information on the table, I'd like to now hold that mirror up to you. As much as you just said, as beautifully as you said it, one of the first things you said was, well, I wasn't in the rhythm. You didn't meet your own expectations in the first rounds. But I can tell you from this side of the table, in my perspective, you did. So we appreciate you. I love you. We appreciate you. Yeah. All right, Beth. All right. Rabunus.
Oh, man. I'm grateful to be here and to continue telling and continue evolving. And when I finish evolving, when actually humanity actually starts awakening properly, they will understand that this world isn't as this world is not as horrifying as it says it is. Currently, like, I have a alarm because I forget things. I have an alarm, including tonight, of being like grateful of the connection that I've had and the me learning. Well, the universe is gonna freaking like, the universe is gonna go ahead and get you there anyway. The source, universal energy, it's gonna pull things to you. And sometimes it'll push things away. It's just up to you how you're gonna actually continue on with this journey that we're working on. And I think the more I hang out with you guys, and the more I hang out with my family and talk to them, and just work, I feel that I'm going to get there sooner or later. Jeez. And I feel that no matter what kind of, like, I'm not going to say parlor tricks, but like, no matter what kind of human random things that come in my way, eventually I'm going to get it. And eventually we're going to stand up here and channel properly and walk the long, hard road. Oh, it's fun. This time around. And that's all I got. Sorry, I'm practicing something while I'm doing it at the same, talking to you guys at the same time. And it's freaking me out. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize. For those who don't know, Rabonis and Chris, they are both co-hosts of this account. And yeah, they're awesome individuals. I'm grateful they're part of my soul fam. So yeah, we appreciate you, Rabonis. Hey T, we seen you. We see you. Tanya Lynn, good to see you. What's up, Eco Warrior? Yo, Rabonis, you need to check that message there that Lee said. That is a stepping stone right there in understanding that. I appreciate him dropping that nugget in the comments there. Guys, there are valuable pieces of information both here in this panel as well as down there. So we appreciate everyone that is here sharing this energy tonight in this mindfulness practice we're doing. We are going to go down to Miss Beth next.
I started focusing on Rab and completely lost the question. Oh gosh, he gets me every time. I don't know what it is about you, Rab. Your energy just pulls me.
Oops. Oh, believe me, this is very interesting. And glad to be here.
That's what you need to do. Remember, we talked about before the grounding rods, you putting them on the beach, and you know the lightning strikes them and the electricity flows down. Well, now it's more or less of that steady stream going up through your anchor. Like you would see your chakra systems, you always have that stream of light going up. So it's just exactly how they function. You know, you have Osiris, and then you have the water below, and then you have the channels within. And that is what you are learning to do. You're learning how to channel your grounding energy. So if you can visualize that, and I know you can because you know the fractalization of that, you've got this.
Thank you.
Love ya. Okay, Ash, can you repeat the question?
I surely can. So we're actually talking about ways we can practice mindfulness together in our own ways. I'm not trying to limit you here. So I'm trying to be very mindful in how I word this to you, Beth. So this is the thing.
Oh, I already feel you.
I just want to know, what ways can you improve? What ways do you see making improvement to rein this in, to keep this vibe climbing in the right direction?
The same thing I've been doing. The only thing I can do is be mindful of myself. I can tell y'all what I see. I can tell y'all what I feel, but at the same time, I can't do the work for y'all, and y'all can't do the work for me. This is my journey. I have to remember that, and I also have to remember that people can only meet me as far as they're willing to meet themselves, and I can only meet them as far as I'm willing to meet myself. So if I want to be mindful of where I want to go on this journey, I have to remember that, and I have to remember that I have to give myself and them grace, because nobody's higher or lower. We've all been in the same situations, just about in the same spots, just in different perspectives. We can all connect with each other through our experiences, because we can all see each other in them. If there was anything I wish I could bring into our community about mindfulness, it's just that there is no separation. There's no difference. And there's no lack of. It's always there. It's your choice whether or not you embody it. It's your choice whether or not you practice it. And I can't blame anyone for you not doing that but yourself.
Yeah, that's bad for you.
Sorry. Oh gosh.
Okay. I'm good. I got it. I'm good. I got it.
I was wondering.
Yeah. She just. Oh man, it's been a minute, Beth, since I've thank you. I needed that. Yeah.
I have been doing months and months of reflective work. So
Same.
I have to drop after this, so that's okay, Ash. I just want to tell you I love you.
I love you too. And we appreciate you being up here with us, Beth. So thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, y'all, that's Beth. If you don't follow her, go follow her. She's an awesome human being. She's just epic, really. D, my brother D. The question is to you, good sir.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
So what was the question again? Can you tell me one more time? Hey, Sir D, my name's D too. It's funny. Hi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, people be calling me that, so I didn't know. My bad. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, I appreciate that authentic moment. I just realized I did that, D.
Like, yeah. I think she was talking to me.
Oh, thanks, bro. Apologize. Thank you.
But yeah, what was the question one more time? I was listening, but then
we're just kind of, what we're doing is we're talking about ways that we ourselves can practice mindfulness, or what kind of mindfulness we're going to practice moving forward to help expand this higher vibrational frequency, to help really ground in the heaven on earth frequencies.
that's you. Okay. So I'd say, make sure that being mindful of equal exchange, being mindful of making sure that I show up for myself and not just for others. And it just being a face or being a presence and trying to help others is good and dandy, but if there's no equal exchange, or there's no way of, if I'm not honoring my boundaries or honoring what it is that I do and how I want to operate and choose to live, then it's not truly living. I'm not truly honoring that paradise, that peace, that grace and mercy that passes all understanding. So I would say going forward, being more responsible of my feelings, being more authentic in my feelings and emotions, and not missing an opportunity or missing out on things as I did in the past, and just running to my negative emotions and feelings, or being stuck in my head, over analyzing for no reason. Just learning to be more, showing up more, and being a part of the fam, being part of the experience, and not just watching from the sidelines, because every voice matters.
Hey, there we go. Y'all see, okay, listen, I'm not apologizing for any of my weird sounds, reactions that I may have. To me, every one of them, what they're saying is so impactful and monumental. And yes, I know I control my reactions, and the truth is I have no problem with the reaction I'm giving, because it's very authentic. I love my family. I'm grateful to be a part of it. And they all humble me every time. So much appreciation, much love. We're gonna continue on to one. Welcome up. Welcome in.
Greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
So I'll go ahead and say that I let myself be mindful, and by being open-minded, I let myself be the ear that listen with no judgment, and just be present for the person that is expressing themselves. Sometimes that's all they need. I do more than is asked of me, and I find a lasting joy in doing so, because I come to notice that sometimes that is more of a outcome of happiness than anything that is materialistic that you will desire. But when I go and do something to just help somebody, the outcome of the joy I get from it is as if I was helping myself. So I'm mindful of that. I will not do to myself what I will do unto others. So I am very respectful, and as much the amount of love that I give myself, I do my best to give it to others so they can see that as something that they could learn and see to also do to the next person that they interact with. I do things without expectation, and I also seek first to understand than to be understood, meaning that I'm very patient, and I think that's something to be really mindful about. I also stay truthful because I believe if you can be truthful all the way, then in doing so, you overcome fear. Because from my experience, I've come to notice even when I was a kid, when my parents would get upset at me about my homework or if I did something, then I would automatically be overflown by fear to lie. But later on, I've come to notice if I accept the outcome of the situation and choose to be truthful, then fear has no place to be in. So I become mindful in that, and that brought me to become a better person. Um, a random act of kindness also will make a huge difference. So I tend to be aware of others' emotion by putting myself in their shoes in order to become aware of what they're feeling. And in doing so, there's a sense of connection that is established with that person. And I also don't let my ego take the wheel, but let my heart guide me. And that is all I can share.
That is awesome. That's awesome. And that's all it's about, really, is what it takes for you to grow your light. That was very well said, like Eco Warrior saying down there. Very well said, and we appreciate you sharing that. And yes, I know that was very uncomfortable. I know this is an uncomfortable question because I'm putting this very personal in your box of what are you doing? So I'm telling you to talk about yourself. And I get that. And we appreciate that. We appreciate you sharing to the level that you shared to your capacity. And that enlightenment and wisdom, we appreciate that.
Thank you very much. And I also would like to say that I have to rise early for work tomorrow. So I will have to log out. But this was great for the time it lasts. I learned a lot from everybody. Thank you.
Grand rest to you. Thank you. And we appreciate you having been up here with us. Guys, you can find us here Sunday evenings. Live starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we typically go somewhere between 2 to 3 hours, give or take. So, yeah. The host seat is revolving, gratefully. So, yeah, we look forward to having y'all join us for whatever time that you're able to do so. All right. The Sir D with the name Sir D. Welcome up, welcome in. Thank you for being here with us. The questions are to you.
Thank you so much for having me. Can you please refresh the question for me and everybody else, please?
Sure, no problem. So what we're talking about right now is in what ways moving forward that you could see using mindfulness to help grow the vibration. And in essence, if there's any certain particular type of mindfulness that you'll be implementing.
Okay. That's a great question, first of all. I would say for me, I've kind of been in a space lately, and I've noticed that almost everybody has talked about there's a one common theme in everything that everyone has spoke about, and I'm in a space in my life where I'm kind of driving a little on the extreme of it, but of course I'm doing it cautiously because, you know, if you lose control, you could crash in this game. And that's having self-awareness. I personally like to use the term selfishness. I know that's not, that term doesn't have the best reputation or maybe even connotation to it, but I really do strongly feel like spirituality, first of all, I do look at it as a game. It kind of makes it interesting and intriguing and exciting to me personally. So I do look at it as a game. But I do feel like the game is really about the more that I can be focused on myself, not in a toxic way. I think we're all high vibrational enough in here for me to understand what I'm really trying to say. But the more that we can give ourselves that love, I feel like it does two things. One, it feeds us and gives us the life force that we need to continue to do the things that we do, because the work that we're here to do is extremely extensive and it's not going to be done in one day. So I do feel like we need that longevity in order to hold it up and in order to see it through. So I feel like, one, it gives me the fuel, you know, it's like getting energy from source. So I feel like, one, it gives me the fuel, and two, I'm pretty confident that it can be contagious. You know, even people who are not as quote unquote dumb as they may seem to be. I feel like our spirits speak a certain language, and deep down, their spirit can see what your spirit is doing. So I feel like by me just cultivating on a very high level of being consciously aware of making sure that I'm fed, that gives me the energy to build what I need to build. And it can also translate to other people's spirit. They may not know what they're looking at. They may not know what they feel. But I think I've seen enough to know that something is being communicated. You know, I've literally had people tell me before, you have something that I want. And I obviously know what that is, but you know, likewise, I would have somebody say, whenever somebody haven't seen me, and I'm not bragging, I'm just speaking from personal experience for whoever can relate. But there's also been instances where if there's like a friend or something I haven't seen for, I don't know, a month, and I show up again, they say, wow, it's like you get taller every time I see you. I know what they're talking about. They're talking about the vibe, they're talking about the aura, they're talking about, that's what they're talking about, whether they're consciously aware of that in their human mind or not. I know that that's what it is. And I feel like it's a very contagious, thing. But I do want to caution it with saying, I'm not saying be selfish for just in a toxic manner. I just
Sir D,
mean love yourself. Yeah.
would you be welcome to a little side dialogue right quick, just to get over this hurdle for not just yourself but for others who have it? Because what you're saying is phenomenal. I just want to acknowledge the moment and the truth of it.
Okay, I'm glad it's resonating. I wasn't sure. I mean, I know this is a high vibrational audience, so I'm pretty good at picking up on that.
You're out the park, went past the windmill, like you're hitting lanes, bro, and we appreciate that. So what I'd like to do here is say this, guys. What he's doing is very Americanized, and as another fellow American, I will say that we do this, okay? It's just us using this word because that's the word, but that's not, we know that it's not, but we're like, okay, until we find it, we got to kind of use this because we got to figure it out, right? His information is 100% out the park, okay? And what he is calling selfishness, let's present it for what it is. It's self-perseverance. What he is talking about is he is talking about it not from the toxic side, like he has already clarified multiple times. He is not talking about it from the toxic side of selfishness. He is talking about it from the high vibrational self-perseverance aspect. And that is what he is moving in. So, knowledge that we see it, Sir D. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you for that. And I know that to some extent I'm speaking from another planet, so that's why I give so many disclaimers sometimes when I talk, because I'm trying to get a feel for the room to see if they're picking up on what I'm saying. But yeah, it's like in popular scripture, there's this one verse where it says love others as you love yourself, and I feel like people miss the main part of that, which is as you love yourself, which means you must love yourself first before we can love others. And that's just kind of honestly where I'm at. I'm in a stage of having, again, dare I say, some level of extreme with it, but it's working, and more importantly, it keeps me fed, it keeps me fueled, because once again, we have some extensive work to do. This is not something that's going to be done tomorrow. And our creator plays chess on quantum levels. For all we know, we could be setting it up for the generation that's being born now, because that generation is, they are something. They are. I've had conversations with a 5-year-old that I just can't even put it in words. But yeah, so back to the point. I'm just really in this space of having an almost extreme level of just focus on feeding myself first and what I gotta do, and however that can help the collective, because in that vibration there is abundance, and when you have abundance, you could give away, you got stuff to give out all day, every day. I'll be honest, I have more stuff than even I can manage. That's because I'm just in that vibration of abundance. But anyway, I don't want to think I've said quite a bit. I'm just really on a almost
You're
extreme
on a
level where
channel. Yeah, and we appreciate it. That's why I let you roll, bro, because I appreciate the channel.
nah,
And
thank
that's the
you.
beauty of it. It is that it's not about getting it flawless, okay? We recognize as the infinite divine fractals of the creator that we all are. That true perfection is not flawlessness.
Mm.
For the divine created flaws in its perfection. It is through that acceptance, bro, that acceptance of you accept exactly where you are, who you are right now on your path. And that's all you need.
And you know, I'm very convinced that that is the answer. You know, because I give a prime example, Kanye West. You know, people for the longest looked at him as obviously crazy, and I'm not going to get too deep into it because it does get political. But you know, spiritually speaking, people always looked at him as he crazy, he this, he that. But listen, I've been a fan, if you will, of this guy for pretty much his whole career, and I can tell you everything he's ever said he was going to do, he did. And as the collective is catching up, he's not looking so crazy all of a sudden. So I'm pretty convinced that he actually had the answer the whole time, and we was the one catching up to it. I know I am, and like I said, from the results that I see in my life, it seemed to work. You know, because from my understanding, we're supposed to be abundant. I don't know where this infatuation with poverty came from. I think that's just another way that we was tricked, because we have to be abundant to do our work.
It's the money. The money is just.
You cut off for a second. Can you repeat that?
Much love and respect. We can't. I know you want to, man. I feel you because I want to too, but we can't. We got to stay with the program right now and let him. I know. You got the answer. We get it. Because that's what it is. You're right, voice. So let's give voice that voice and listen to that truth in the words that we did here. It's the money. That's exactly what they did. They designed the system to create a control, an illusion of control over the power that we all hold inside of us. And they told us, hey, this is something we have that you need, and we're going to make this to where you have to obtain it. And we're going to take your energy from you and make you do what we want you to do to be able to obtain this illusionary thing that we created. It's a misappropriation of power. It's exactly what it is, bro. It was the old illusion. It was the old paradigm. It no longer holds because we are in the new. It's why we all can see right through it. So, yeah. As much as I appreciate this and extreme mindfulness moment for the sake of the time and the flow, I am going to go ahead and move on to the other guests, but we highly appreciate you, Sir D.
Yeah, I was gonna land my plane right there. Just thank you for this. I kind of needed this. I'm a Scorpio, so I feel like in this season where the emotions really start stirring up quite a bit. So thank you. I just needed to relax with my people a little bit. So thank you.
For sure. All right, AZ. It is up to you, brother. The question is yours.
Well, I'm loving everything that I'm hearing here tonight, and I agree, it's being here in the presence with all of us here because, there's so many things that's happening, so many questions that we all are asking one another and looking for within one another. And, one of the practices that I tend to do is what I mentioned earlier, is slowing it down and actually being able to observe and regulate by pausing and breathing and just listening in, taking my time here because just like you mentioned, we get sparks by listening to one another. And the great philosophers in the past did this. They did the very same thing we're doing here is being mindful of one another by sharing things, sharing their perspectives and point of views of many things. So by us simplifying our practices, by just observing, we could quiet the eyes, we can quiet the mind. And when we quiet the eyes, because the eyes absorb, they're absorbing as we're listening and talking, we're absorbing continuously. So we're constantly getting bombarded with information coming from so many different ways, but yet we're being focusing on specific topics or whatever we're doing. So we can find by closing our eyes, closing our ears. In other words, I'm not listening to anything else except the present of where I'm at right now. The question that I'm with right now, or the individual that I'm speaking to. So I can either meditate and just listening to this conversation here tonight, and I could see because I'm blocking my eyes, I'm blocking my ears from listening to anything, and I'm solely focused and aware of what this discussion is all about. Or let's per se, if I was able to see you guys one on one, I focus or quiet my eyes by staring to you in your eyes. And me staying connected with the individual, we stay connected to the present moment of one another at this very moment so we can allow ourselves to appreciate one another, being motivated by them. We can be coaches, teachers, and friends to one another by just acceptance and being aware, observing one another, because that's what a lot of these relationships in life happen. These relationships in life sometimes they break up because we're not allowing ourselves to observe them, listen to them. And when you observe them and listen to them, we can understand them because it's a big circle and it comes back around. There's a couple of things that came up on this topic that's been said a couple of times, but in different ways. And we have to be present in that moment because we have to be present in any conversation like the one we're having right here because the golden wealth is the test of our journey is by listening. And by listening, what I just stated, the gold and the wealth is the testimonies of just being a just minded individual as the community is. So we are present with one another, just minded like one another, appreciate one another. And through this, we can gain clarity and confirmations of the questions that we seek by simplifying without without even going out there and looking with outside, but looking within ourselves by accepting what we're talking about and integrating of what we're listening to others' testimonies, we can share their wisdom with our wisdom and our experiences together allow us to see in depth of the stuff that in other words, let's say I wrote something down on a piece of paper and I have the vision of what I wrote down, but yet as I'm listening to others the confirmation is coming and that 2D word now became a 3D word that I can use to create action with it. And with that, I allow myself to be able to change what my perspective was and ascend with it and allow myself to grow with it. And this in itself is going to remove any anxiety or any worriness other people are going to think of me because you know what? They are me. So I should never worry, for I'm in the presence of them as they are in the presence of me. Together we are presence to one another. We're the gift to one another because we are one another. In other words, we need one another. And that's what Sir D I understood from him. We spark one another. And we're always looking out there for the answer, but we allow ourselves to receive the answer by just being present and observing one another. And I am using that tool. It's observing a lot more and just appreciating the simple fact that it's always been within us, but we need one another because one another is us, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, guys, you hear us say things like, if that makes sense, or if you understand, or that's because it's a trained habit, it's a learned habit, one that we learn from expressing ourselves and it not making sense and people not understanding. And in that acknowledgement, I do that. I do too. And it's something that I've purposefully brought to my own forefront of my awareness that I've been working on that he just kind of hit me with there at the end. Thanks, AZ. Yeah, right, Beth? Yeah. So, appreciate that lively reminder.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, guys.
It's because Fire Ash. What I'm getting through this is that we through spiritual through spirituality, these things that we talk about here on the community and on these panels, we're always giving our testimony, our journeys, and our perspectives and everything. And one thing that we always emphasize, the answer was always within ourselves, you know and it's allowing ourselves just to say like, wow, and we need one another to spark that. It's like, we go to school and then we learn something, all right? And when we learn that, we forget it because we're so caught up with life and doing everything that we need others to remind us of the things we already know. So, as spiritual beings within a human body, we know this. We already know this. We just need one another to remind us of who we are.
I agree. We
Passion.
really need each other, literally.
The passion of that. And it's true. And that's why it hits so deep, because it's true. None of us would exist in the way that we exist. This world would not exist the way it exists. Our points of perception of existence, mind you, none of us perceive the actual reality, because the actual reality is the all. We can only perceive it from our points of perception. Okay, even in our greater expansion, it's still going to be the greater expanded point of perception that you're able to perceive. That fact does not change. Okay, right. So you remove all the illusion and you look at the basic stark truth of what they just said. We would not exist the way we exist if we did not need to. If that was not part of our purpose, if that was not a part of our design. The truth can't be covered up in that way. So it's very beautiful. I do want to say to those that are requesting, we appreciate y'all. Truly, we understand wanting to get up and share your voice, and we hope that you hold that vibration and join us again next week. The panel is locked for the evening, and we will be doing our finishing up and our mindful practice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I need to get a drink. For those that also needed that reminder, hydration check. Here we go. Anyway, but yeah, we'll be doing our mindfulness practice and closing up here in a little while. But next, we are going to get to be graced with the voice and present these questions to him. Welcome up on the panel. Welcome in. The floor is yours. And the question to the panel right now currently is that of what mindfulness practice or practices are you going to be utilizing moving forward to help this vibration grow?
Sorry, repeat the question one more time.
Yeah, so basically, what mindfulness practice or practices, you can make it plural, are you going to utilize moving forward in this new reality, in this new world?
Yes, first of all, my English is limited, but yeah, as we all here I'm here to raise and help those Raise the vibrations, the frequencies, um, through meditation, through uh, good food consumption. Breath work is key. Yeah.
These are all really great. So, the voice, we we have no issues with your clarity on your English. You spoke well, so we appreciate your communication with us. And everything you just listed are awesome. Awesome. Are any of those things that you are currently doing within the community, or are those just personal practices in your own daily life?
They're just still personal practices because where I'm at, it's a huge city, and I haven't been around anybody that has the same perspective. It's kind of like a long journey right now, but yeah, it's just my own practices for right now.
Awesome, Rob. Well, we appreciate having you up here with us. This is kind of getting on the end of our evening, but I'd like to hear more about mindfulness and what moved you on this topic to get up here and share your voice with us.
Oh, I just came across. I just wanted to listen, and then I wasn't here when the live first started, so I wasn't really sure what's going on.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, that's one of those. It's awesome. That's real. That's true. So let's go. All right. Well, we appreciate you getting up here nonetheless. Like, that's, you put your best foot forward, and I mean, you brought it to the table. Even though you didn't even know what table you were sitting at yet, you still showed up, and we appreciate that, like, genuinely.
Right.
We are going to go ahead and do a little bit of a mindfulness practice together, guys. Once again, this is all at your own discretion, at your own pace, at your own discernment. That's the D word right there. Okay, use your own discernment. But I would like to give everybody an opportunity to prepare for this little walkthrough. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. If anyone needs to use the restroom, get a drink of water, any of that, go ahead.
Can I say something real quick?
You're more than, I was actually about to say that. So go ahead. I was going to tell you that panelists, you are welcome to speak freely for a few moments. Go ahead and speak amongst yourself.
Dude, okay, it's like, I've been like, it's like 3 feet now, and I can spin it around. Well, not on command, but like, it's, oh my God. Like, everyone here, obviously, is awakening. It's crazy. Like, like when you have abilities, right? Like some people can clairvoyant, some people clairsentient, things of that nature. Then you start to realize that there are other abilities that you've always wanted or like wanted to tap into, but never had the actual like standstill, or you weren't able to hone in on it yet. I'm noticing stuff like that's happening recently, and I like it.
Yeah, man, meaning it didn't just come to you natural and easy. You actually got to practice a little bit.
Yeah, it's like that. Just well, because normally it comes naturally easily, but yeah, practicing definitely have to do that. Have to tune in a lot more because especially when you're jumping into other fields of things. I will say that.
My advice on that is because we all do have psych abilities and such more abilities, but you should definitely have on the Armor's Gold. That's a really good supplement.
You said gold?
Armor's Gold, yeah. Armor's Gold will enhance your ability, your dreams ability. You will be able to see. It's literally the salt of your body. You know, it cleans out your pineal gland.
Gold, actual gold, the
No,
gold.
No, okay, bro. He's
So
telling you the exact brand and type for a reason.
let me write it down.
Okay?
Let me
If
write it
you
down.
aren't hearing him, it's okay. I'll send you the Google link later.
Thank you.
Can you send it to me too? I heard it, but I didn't hear it either.
Armor's Gold,
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all, you can find it here on the TikTok shops, y'all.
It's good. Got it. Armor's Gold.
That's the second time this week I heard about that.
It's
Oh,
awesome.
okay, got it. Okay.
Brother, I could give you some very interesting insight to what you said about honing in on your gifts. I'm a spiritual alignment coach, and one of my favorite go-to things I like to tell people is it's actually hard to know what your gift and your passion is because it's the one thing that comes so easy to you. You would never in a million years think that it's a valuable talent. And I like how you said that it's pretty much a game of you do have to cultivate it a bit because again, it comes so easy. It's like reading. If you were born and you just know how to read, you're like, wait a minute, everybody can't read. You know, it takes some time for you to realize that. So that's just some little insight that I personally found that our gift is that one thing that comes so easy to you. You just would never even think that it's a talent, but it is.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. And what is Armor's Gold about? This is literally the second time this week I've heard about that after never hearing about it in my
Hey,
entire life.
this stuff I recommend it to anybody out there because this stuff is awesome. It's just like salt. It's not that salt, but the actual salt of your body. Like this goes straight to your pineal gland, and you'll be able to see clearly.
Oh wow.
It
Yeah.
goes back to the ancient teachings and ways, and it goes back to alchemy, like past ancient Egypt, man. It goes back to Kemet. And this
yeah.
specific gold is one that you've seen depicted as being put on their fruit and their food and such. And it wasn't just to depict the wealth of it, it was to actually symbolize them eating and consuming this. The wealthy would eat and consume this.
Wow. So it's like a spiritual seasoning?
Still do.
Yes, this is what the Bible is talking about when Jesus said, when your body is full of salt, you are the salt of the salt. Yeah, it's just like the salt of your body. It gives you salt in your body because your body needs salt, and this is the type of salt that literally like deals with your brain system. Like you'll be able to like see things clearly.
It's basically what it is. I mean, I don't know about this name brand. I can't vouch for that, but I can vouch for monoatomic gold because I've used it as a supplement before, and
It's the same thing.
just the body functions is amazing. And yes, visualization increased. There's lots of things that increased that I was already doing, but I can vouch for that. So if that's what the same thing is talking about, then yes, and it's been
It
something
is
that
just a different brand.
awesome. Because monatomic gold is basically just it's gold broken down into its fundamental parts. So it's basically down to its molecular atom structure. And you can do it. You can break it down chemically. I used to do it just to recover gold out of like computer parts. And it before you melt it down, it's technically monoatomic gold. So it's pretty cool, and
You
it
can
does work.
trade out with Shilling G also.
Good deal.
Yeah, and while we're putting it out there, there's also a silver that you can get that you can supplement. Guys, please understand this is all in moderation. I don't care if you're an extremist. Don't go extreme on your consumption of supplements.
Oh,
Definitely.
a quick question. What playlist are you playing?
So personally, it's not that it's a playlist, it's that I've been on TikTok forever and I skip through. I use the gentle the gentle setting on the music, and the songs are actually listed, like named. So I just kind of like the songs that I like and play those.
Got you. You say gentle settings? What are you referring to?
You go into your enhancement as when you're a host in the host seat, you have a different list of options, obviously. You can go into your enhancement and you'll have like enhance, effects, stickers, music, voice effects, sound effects, background, and boards, right?
Know what you mean?
So once you actually go into the music, there you get a list of options of what they have. They have party, songs about gifts, electronic, jazz, romance, fresh, and gentle. Me personally, I always go into the gentle, and this one is a piano melody that kind of fills a hole.
Yo, what's the name of that in particular? I was loving that. What's the name of that?
It's a piano melody that fills a hole in your heart.
Oh, that's literally what it is.
That's literally what it's called. It's literally what it's doing, right?
Oh my god, that's perfect. Thank you. That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
And you just showed me something I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah. And that is why we all ask questions, because when we ask questions, we learn stuff.
I like to tell people I fish religiously. What I mean is I will throw that line. I can't tell you, I literally can't even say how much free stuff I have gotten for the simple fact that I opened my mouth and asked. But that's a different conversation.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, that's awesome though. All right, guys. So we are going to go ahead and get into seats. Guys, if anybody would like to jump up on the panel to do the mindfulness practice, just to be up here with us, you can. We do have 4 spots open, but this is going to be something that's mic'd down, guided. Really, you're just going to be up here with the presence of us. So, Beth. All right. I'm out. Night left. It's that time. Okay. So tonight we're going to look at, in this practice, how we can expand our mindfulness. And so what we are going to do is we are actually going to purposefully practice doing that exact thing. Yeah, I know. I'm getting situated. Let me put my book up here. I also have my notebook over here because I have to take notes. Y'all move me. So right now, I just like to ask everybody to get into a nice, comfortable, calm place, and whatever level of comfort that encompasses for you. Please do so with your own safety in mind, first and foremost. Just take the time to breathe. We're all here together. We all know what we're doing. In this practice, we're going to go into it understanding that for your mind to learn things and your spirit to grow, you must interact with the world. So first, we're going to start this mindfulness by taking our focus and awareness to our hands. We as human beings hold sacred these tools that are our hands. Right now, I want you to just take your awareness to feeling them. What do your hands feel like to you? No judgment. Just observe. What are they feeling? Are they cold? Are they warm? Are they supple? Now we recognize in this energy that our hands are always feeling and receiving energy. Feel the flow of the air particles around it. Feel the transference as you touch, as you clasp. Now I'd ask you to take into your awareness that there are no two hands the same as the ones you have. Bring into your awareness the unique contours and colors, lines and folds. Recognize the divine that is uniquely your own. Feel the love for this vessel. Feel how the universe reaches to you to fill you with that which is yours through your very existence. Now bring your awareness here to these hands again. And recognizing in all those present that they too have two hands. Here we are, together. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Take your time.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this moment. Much needed.
That was beautiful.
I'm grateful to have had this practice with all of you tonight, for all of the energy and the presence of the all.
I also want to
It's
say,
been amazing.
I think this is my first time interacting with you, and you're easily one of the best hosts I've been a part of. So thank you. I mean that.
We appreciate you, Sir D. And yeah, this is our first time encountering each other. And this is a 100% a team effort. I would not be where I am today without the amazing souls that have loved and supported me and have seen the possibility in me when even I couldn't. So I am grateful to be here. Thank you.
Fire, thanks for the love. I haven't seen you in a bit. I've been up here twice now, but thanks for all the love. And just for all you guys, my dog is unbelievably sensitive. He was staring at my phone the whole time while you were doing that, and just like not shaking anymore and not feeling pain. So I really appreciate, you know what I mean?
Most definitely.
So thanks.
I feel you.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you too. You're near and dear to a lot of us here and have been a strong member in this community for quite some time. So anytime you are able to be up here with us, we appreciate it. Right, Eco, were you? All right, guys. I'm going to turn the mic over to Chris, and we will do our final round.
Have final thoughts?
Yeah, can you like intro and like encourage everybody to do their thing and all that? I need to step out for a sec.
All right. Yeah, on our last round, we just do final thoughts. It's basically, but we like to make sure everybody promotes anything that they want, anything they have going on in their life that could help them, whether it's a small business or you just need energy led your way in some form or fashion. So, but either way, my final thoughts on tonight really is mindfulness comes in many different forms and fashions. it's when we talk about healing the mind and body and soul, a lot of that comes from mindfulness, and it's symbiotic with different ways. So it can come after we've learned a bunch of lessons. It can come from learning it like through different practices, through religion before you even experienced it. Either way, so for me, it's love anymore. Any aspect that I put into anything just represents love for me. And that's evolved, so it allows me to, at least for what I mean by that, it's allowed me to gain awareness of things that I need to be more mindful of, because of seeing the lack of love within myself, of seeking the love itself, which I still need to do. Every bit that we help ourselves also helps our growth. And I've grown a lot, but I have a long way still to go. And sharing our history and with our own selves, reflection, that mirror work. It develops gratitude. It gives us our own affirmations of what we've already done to achieve for where we are at today. And this is where we live right now. So sometimes we can be down on ourselves, and it's nice to reflect on the growth we've already achieved. It kind of shines light on the growth we can achieve still today. So, but yeah. The only thing I have really to shout out for like small businesses, my wife and I always sell crystals. I have a website that's in my bio. I am planning on going and doing some lives. I'm still waiting on a few things to come in beforehand, but I'm almost set up if that's the case. But either way, we do Spiritual Talk 369 every Sunday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's always different topics. It's a different host every week, and Ash does an amazing job. So I'm gonna drop it right there and go on to Rabanas. Much love, everybody. You guys are amazing, by the way.
That was a lovely service. Thank you. Glad to be here again. And that's it. I have nothing else. Thank you.
Oh, I love you, brother. D, would you like to give us your final thoughts? Don't forget to give yourself a shout out for what you do here for the community.
Final thoughts. This is all beautiful. I love the meditation and everything. And I say, all beautiful souls here. So I do appreciate you guys allowing me in this space as always. Love you guys. So I am a psychic reader, intuitive reader. I'm a limitless being, so I like to call myself, but I am a healer. And right now I've been doing, I do natal charts. I do astrology, astronomy. I do healing meditations. I do readings, whatever you need. I'm like jack of all trades, master of none type guy. So like I like to help and help others. And so you guys want to come on down, check me out. Our readings are very affordable. and they're very. You get the most, you get the bang for your buck for everything you do. So everything I do. So, come on down, get some healing, get some learning, some lessons, get some blessings. Hey, Cassie. Hey, Tina. But yes, I do appreciate y'all. Even the music sounds like the little final
When do
closing.
you go live?
So I try to go live I go random. I got to get more of a schedule. That's what I'm working on now, moving in my North Node energy, trying to have a schedule. So I do go live every day. And usually right now I've been trying, the most time I usually make it around on is between 1 and 4 o'clock. I usually start around that time. And then I'll just stay on till the energy dies off or till the flow, Yeah, every day. I go every day. It's just random sometimes. Most times, I usually try to go in the mornings, but then sometimes I find myself going in the middle of the day, and then sometimes I go at nighttime. It just every time I try to make a plan, God be laughing. He be laughing at me. The Creator be laughing.
Much love, bro. Thank you.
Much love. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
For sure. Miss Ohm. Well, it would be kind of your first thoughts, your final thought. Well, it's
like
your turn.
A full circle. I believe that you had said, what can I to give up my company? I will say this. I have listened on the sidelines of what you and Rabs and I say Rubes and Chris have created on the side, and you guys have been doing it for a while, and I watch it. I learned how to, which is weird, but I learned how to watch things without let people knowing that I'm actually like watching the live. It sounds creeps, but like what you guys have created is really neat. So I feel that really hard. I didn't get caught coming up here. I wanted to get.
I appreciate that, but I do want to throw.
Do you know
I do
what I mean?
want to throw it to Innovision too, because he does
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
Innovision. So, but like what you guys are creating is just like, it's so chill, dude, and it's so. And like you're just like, hi, how you doing? Are you okay? Cool. Like let's go. I don't smoke cigarettes, but like let's go outside and have a minute. And then you just sit, and then and you're creating a space that is safe to. It's a safe space for people to go step outside of themselves, have trust within the quarry, and then go, ready, 1, 2, 3. I got your back. We're back in. Like you all go off the diving board together, and you've done it. And I've watched it from an outside space, and I really do appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate that. I really don't like when people bully people, and I don't believe that none of you. All of the people that are up here that I've known for like almost 2.5 years now are not assholes. So I really respect that. I could be an asshole. You guys are not assholes. I do have, and going into that, I do have a special for my company, but I don't think that I would like to promote right now. I can another time, but I do have a big promotion that's for my company right now. And it has to do with a lot of the money going to dogs within PAWS and CAC in our city here in Chicago, because they are euthanizing. People are just like dropping off dogs now at something called CAC. It's like Chicago. Animal Control Center of Chicago, but like it says CAC, and they euthanize the animals. Like they get a kickback, and then they could potentially pay for more animals to come in. But so I have something that I'm doing right now where majority of whatever I make from the services that I offer are going to PAWS and or CAC. I mean, I'll say more about it another day because I just came up late. I don't even know what you guys were talking about. But thank you for letting me come up here.
Yeah, we were talking about mindfulness, so you're right on point. Like that's yeah, like your intuition led you exactly how you
There's
need to be.
Well, so Ash, there's like these like in the city of Chicago, like there's people that like they took away like the opportunity for you're supposed to like drop you're supposed to like call do the body dudes and then say I'm gonna like drop a dog off, but people are just like dropping dogs off left, right, front, and center, and so then there's a 3-day grace period, and I'm not Debbie Downering, this is just true. And so then after the 3 days, depending on the dog's health and whether they're adoptable, if you will, they could get 86th. And so like it's a really big thing. And then the mayor of the city of Chicago cut the budget in a third for this, and then increased our political for Heartbeat, all of the aldermen's payroll by 4.1%. So you're going like $300,000 to something as a part-time job to animals that can get 86th. And this is what he does. And so it's not that I'm like hyperly focused on this. I'm just hyperly focused enough because my dog's a rescue, and that's just like a really big deal for me. So being mindful of.
So could you say that you're advocating for it? Would that be comfortable to say? That it is something that you're advocating for because of
what am I advocating for?
Fundraising for helping provide funds for these facilities that have these animals being dropped off on them.
I am utilizing my services because people really like tarot cards and people really like that stuff, and like they can like tongue in cheek it, and I'm totally fine with it. I don't mind being amused for a minute because I'm advocating. Well, not advocating. I am advocating no matter what, but because I know that I could help raise capital for these animals not being raised.
Right, and so here's the thing. I don't present I know, right?
I know. I'm trying to do it too. I was like,
I don't present it as a throttle to you. I don't present it as a. Are you advocating? No, what I'm presenting it as is you're trying to express something very passionately and do so in such a delicate manner. And I need people to understand this is what passion in a healthy way is. It is called advocating.
Yeah, I'm advocating.
And so what you are, right, this is the healthy expression of it. She is 70% advocating for this cause.
I normally would charge for somebody, but I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about so majority of what I charge will go to the animals, like, and being able to hire more staff and or keep these animals long enough for them to be able to be adopted and or get fixed. Or have enough funds for them to go to a sanctuary of some sort, because there's like TMI, but there's like it's a double number that's getting euthanized daily in Chicago, and it's gonna make I've spoken to you on the side, Fire, like. I'm a crier. So I am happily going to happily meaning like I will happily do this. I will stand up for this. For if anyone wants a service when it comes to psychic readings, tarot cards, Akashic, stuff like that, we will. I mean, I have all that stuff, but I'm not hyperly advocating like what my numbers are. But there's a huge majority of that's going to the animals to keep them alive until they could get adopted or fostered or whatever.
Right. So would it be welcome to say to the audience, those that are hearing you advocate and want to support it and want to come to you for a reading, would it be welcome to say they could PM you for more information?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Great. Epic.
Or P. No offense. Or PMU. You can be part of it. You can be a part of it. You read cards too. But I'm not going to push her up there. Yeah, you can. My company's OHM, OHM, CHI, OHM. But you can DM me if you want, and I got you. And so, yeah, I mean, these could be little stocking stuffers that you don't even realize, like, you know, like little kids, like whatever. We won't do like tarot cards. We'll do. I have a bunch of whole other stuff for little kids, and you know, like be little fun stuff, to be white elephant stuff, like, you know, give it to the biggest Christian in your office. Fucking awesome. And so, you know, do whatever you want, but there's a space, and you know, majority of that is going to the puppies and the cats and the animals here, because they get dropped off. They just one more second, and I apologize. There's no more legality. So like in the threshold of, you have to like sign paperwork or anything here. Now in Chicago, you can just drop them off at the front door. So they're getting, like, no joke, like 300 dogs a day. And there's like, how could you even? And so then they have 3 days, like the dogs are just sitting in their own shit. Like, it's really bad. So that's my space. So that was my mindfulness. I don't know. Fire, that took a huge turn, bud.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing is, you're not just talking about it, you're being about it. It's something that bothered you and it resonated with you as an unjust, as something that went against the divine, and it moved your soul enough for you to make those moves. Okay, so yes, you are practicing your own level of awareness and mindfulness of, okay, there is this problem and it is horrendous. I'm not going to just sit in this, though. How am I going to fix it? What is the solution? You didn't stay procrastination and stuck. Instead, you did the action of mindfulness and actually practiced it and sought a solution and found one. Yeah, now, is that going to fix everything? Realistically, no. But it is enough. You know why? Because that is what you are able to do. That is your tithe to the universe. We only do what we are meant to do. Not one of us carries the entire burden alone. We are all equal. Much love.
Yeah. Thanks, I appreciate you. I'm not crying on your shit, so.
We appreciate you too. Okay, no, you don't have to cry. What is this, baseball?
Don't.
We love you.
I love you too. I love you too.
All right. Sir D, your final thoughts as well as any promos that you have.
Final thoughts. When I came on here, it really was just to have an intentional like satsang with, you know, high vibrational folks. That was just the intention. I just needed just to relax a little bit, you know, sit down from a day's labor, spiritual labor, that is. And just relax. So to be honest, I really don't have anything to sell. I will say that if my energy resonates with anybody, I think you know what to do. I will like to share one of the most powerful things I've learned recently is, you know, we always hear It's all about the journey. It's all about the journey. It's all about the journey. But what does that mean? You know, successful people will tell you, man, just focus on your process, just focus on the journey, and all the stuff will come, the money, the success, whatever. But what does that mean? And I've learned recently what it kind of means, at least in the way that my mind articulates it and understand things in the way that it does, is it's about taking your process in bites that we can tolerate per day. You know, for example, like doing content creation, that requires what? Concepting the content, recording the content, doing the metadata for the content, which is basically the SEO, posting the content. That's like 4 different steps. Well, you know what? Maybe today I'm just in the mood to think of ideas, and that's it. You know, I've learned to just take things in bite size that I have the tolerance for, because again, the work that we're doing is not going to be done tomorrow. It's not going to be done today. So I've kind of learned to have a better perspective on it, and that's how I, quote unquote, enjoy the journey. Is I do what I have the ability to tolerate for the day. And you may catch me on a good day where I could do all 4 and do 4 videos doing all 4, but that's not every day. We're human. Life happens. So again, I'm just saying this to share that that is one of the most powerful things that I have learned in recent times. And what you'll find that it does is it helps you stay in motion, because slow progress is better than no progress. It sounds cliche, but it's extremely true. So I just wanted to share that. That's just what I feel on my heart this year, amongst whatever else I can share. Is literally enjoy the journey, enjoy what we're doing, a part of the journey on a daily basis, and you know, you'll start to enjoy your process more. And when you enjoy your process, it's game over from there. So again, thank y'all so much for literally just holding this space. I don't think you said one time that you're holding space, but your actions have shown that that's what you were doing. And my favorite language is authenticity. Just thank you. And again, Ash, you honestly were an incredible host. I really vibe with your energy. And thanks for recommending Beth. I checked out her page while we was on here, and that's probably the quickest I've ever followed somebody. Usually I have a process, but I seen a few posts and I was like, yeah, this my peoples. I'm gonna follow. So thank you.
For sure, 30. And we're glad to have you with us, and we look forward to seeing you again if it resonates, you know. So for those that he just knocked that out the park, by the way. I love the fact that he just dropped those nuggets like that with us. But those that kind of spend time with me and they'll know what he's talking about here, the way it hits for me, is this goes back to what they're talking about. The bare minimum consistency is enough to make actual change. That they've actually looked into it and actually studied it enough to find out that if we decide, okay, look, this is what it is, I have to put out this bare minimum consistently, come rain or shine. Now, if I can't, I'm not going to hate myself for it. Okay? But this is my bare minimum consistency every day. This is what I'm going to meet. And if I can make it better, great. Because every day I wake up is my best day ever.
And I also want to add,
that is literally it.
I have to add to that because you just unlocked something else. It's literally a game changer because what also kind of happens is you stop looking at the entire freaking mountain, which is just that's self abuse if you ask me. 'Cause there's nobody on this planet that could look at the entire mountain and be motivated the entire time looking at the entire mountain. Not even Kobe Bryant could do that, and he's recognized as one of the most mentally tough people that's ever walked this planet. There's this saying that say how to eat an elephant, literally one bite at a time. And but what it does is you break down your process into these smaller chunks, and instead of looking at the entire mind, you say, you know what, I see that flag over there. I'm at 3,700 followers. Let me just get the 8,000 instead of just thinking the 10,000 goal, because you have to pass 8,000 before you get to 10,000. And what it also does is it gives us those little dopamine boosts on the way up. And like I say, it's going back to mastering your process. And when you master your process, it's literally game over. There's this popular saying that says that we don't rise to the level of our willpower, we fail to the level of our systems. And that's exactly what we're discussing right here. I'm just trying to put that out there for whoever could catch it. It's literally been
Hold
a game
on, they
changer in
need
my
that.
life.
They need that again. Can you like put a note in that one? They need that word by word.
We don't rise to the level of our will, because all of us tend to think it's a game of willpower. You know what? I just ain't got what it takes to bang this out as much as I want to. So we don't rise to the level of our willpower. We fail to the level of our systems. And the problem is a lot of us have poor systems. We're trying to eat an entire elephant at one time. It's not going to happen. And it's extremely discouraging. It's extremely discouraging. You know what I'm saying? That's like mountain climbers. They train when doing mountain climbing training. They don't teach them to look at the top of the freaking summit. They teach them to look at their feet. And it's crazy because when I started to see, and this message came to me from spirit, so that's why I'm really feeling strong to share it. Because it's crazy, because if you think about it, we have to cross these thresholds on the way to the $1 million anyway. So I don't know. Personally, it's been a game changer for me. I do feel like we all kind of interpret things different and we all digest things differently. But personally, that's been the game changer for me. And what you were saying, Ash, about daily progress or minimum consistency or something like that, it's a game changer. When you're making progress, all of a sudden your thing feels more fun. Well, I'll land my plane right there.
Can I, Mac? I know. Can I
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hey, Slobrit. Blurred.
Surdy.
Blurdy.
Yeah, what's up?
Hi, sweetie. My name is Om. It's nice to meet you. I genuinely love quotes, and I really liked your quote that you just said. Is that something that you came up with?
Honestly, no. It came up when I was doing my research on the topic.
May I ask a question?
I know what you're going to ask, but go ahead.
Okay, then tell me what I'm going to ask you.
Where did I get it from?
Well, I already asked that. So what's the next one?
What's the source?
Well, I don't care about who. I mean, I do after, but like, I want to break down the quote, if that's okay.
Oh, okay. What's up?
So you said we don't use the level of our will, right? What did you say? We don't use. How am I repeating yourself? We don't
rise to the level of our willpower.
The level of our
fail.
I don't think you said willpower.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Willpower? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We fall to the level
fail
of our. We fail
systems.
to the level of our system.
Systems.
Correct.
So sometimes, just a random thought, I'm a total dork when it comes to quotes. If you swapped the words in that, like the subject matter, would it still do the same thing?
That's a fantastic question, because the latest project that my mind has been working on is reframing. Oh my God, that's a great question. The latest project I've been working on is reframing language. For example, the word grinding. That word just feels like evil to me. I don't want to grind. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to grind. But you know what I can do? I could wake up and I could make a video to help people. Or even if, I'm feeling a download, I can communicate a download, but I don't want to fucking grind. Excuse me. I don't want to grind. I seriously don't want to grind. So I've really been focusing lately on reframing a lot of this, let's just call it trained language that we've been picking up on. So to answer your question, yes, whichever connotation helps you connect with it, and I'm saying you in general, whatever connotation helps you connect with it and resonate with it and holds a higher vibration, go for it.
Awesome. And I think that's so cool. So do you know what an idiom is?
Kinda.
All right. We got the questions. We got the quote. We need to give Miss Tina Fey a chance to speak as well, guys. I appreciate both of y'all.
So, can I just do it real quick? I'll stop after. So an idiom is
no.
The
answer is still no. I know, I know, but the answer is still no.
We'll have a conversation about that, because
you talk about respect and you talk about that back and forth. You go, no,
I
it's
got
no.
her.
You practice no, and then no said, no, no.
I got her.
No.
It's fine. I got years
I
of
know.
me and
I love
and
her.
this is a thing.
We have
Like,
conversations
yeah.
every time. I just love y'all. I just had a really good time in the meditation, and thank you. I haven't been on your live before, and the people that I love are here, so I've enjoyed it. So it's nice to meet you, host. Thank you for having this. I was holding space, and I am. When I'm here, I'm holding space for everybody on the planet, and I'm glad to be with my peeps that are holding space too. And I'm with you on the animals. So I do what I can do here. Love y'all. World peace. God is love. Thank you.
Much love. You're welcome. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay.
Well, just because you know that you can have an idiom, you can say oh, let's beat around the bush. You can do all that stuff. So what he said was so profound, because what he said you could flip around, and then he said he also realized he could flip around. If you ever think about anything that you actually care about, you could flip around too. So yes, and Tina, I love you. You know that I love you. So you and I became friends a couple months back. You're cool as shit. I've been friends with these cats for a couple years now, so I got grandfathered into this storyline. Yeah. So when I don't know, man, when you care about a lot of stuff, I don't know. When you care about a lot of stuff, but having those kind of quotes, that was really neat. I can't do it again. Trolled. What you said, we don't, we're speaking about tenacity and having couth and sticking up for the things that you believe in, and knowing how to tread water during those tumultuous moments. That's a quite profound statement, and I respect you for even just quoting that, but let alone it's evident that that's part of your part of you. And sometimes when you put your neck out like that, you could sit like you're by alone, but that you're alone often. I do believe, though, with Spiritual Talk 369, Chris and Rubes and Fire Ash and Innovision and all these cats, like they've also stuck their neck out for stuff too, and you're in good company. So I'm glad that you found your space, dude. So yeah, I went hippie at the end because I just did. But good for you, Kat. But you can always change anytime you think about some sort of thought, like flip it around. Flip around the version, like the subject and the answer. Flip it around and see if it's still true. If it's still true, then it rings true to you. It could be inverted, and then you're rocking and rolling.
That's what I've been doing, and again, that's the latest. I'll give you another example to help it connect with more people. Today, literally hot off the press today, I thought to myself, I don't like the word investing or building a business. And what I did with my mind was I say, you know what? This gonna sound, wacky, but I'm just being transparent here. Instead of saying, oh, I'm investing money, I said, you know what? I just like to throw money at things that I feel have a strong potential to grow into something. And that simple
I'm really good. I'm
mindset,
so good at catch. I'm so good at playing catch.
and that simple, it sounds so simple, but again, to me, like the word investing just ill, like build a business. I don't want to do that, but I do have a TikTok page that's growing, and to me, TikTok just kind of feels like a video game. It's weird,
Me too.
but it feels like a video game, and you just look at your account and you make money. I see Chico Hernandez have a few questions. I don't know if we have time for that, Ash. I don't know where you're at, what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. No, I honestly, I was just having a moment of mindfulness, allowing the moment to flow. We are wrapping up, but if there are
I
quick
can sense that.
questions, Chico.
I can sense that, which is why I asked. Chico, you can feel free to inbox me. Sorry, Ash.
No, you're good. So it would be quick. Oh, go with the flow of it, man. Good.
Chico says it could be
I'd
quick.
like to say one thing before Chico says anything, because I'm going to mute myself after that. I think that when you create a family within a space that you've never actually been related to, it means something. And to sit here on the outskirts of stuff and watch you guys for years is really neat. And what I've watched and how you guys have grown, that's amazing. And in the space in which that you guys have created a safe space, like a genuine safe space, even cooler. So I get invited often to come up on here, and today I guess I am. But moreover, I'm just really grateful to know you guys as friends, and that you guys you took something and you made it better. So cool for you guys. And that's what I would like to say to you guys, and you know who I am speaking to. Love.
Respect. That's awesome. Much love. I said, I am being grade A authentic. This is what I'm saying. And that's it. And every single one of us heard you. And we appreciate you all. We hear you.
Run while you can, Ash. Run. Run while the space is there.
Yeah. All right, cuz it's been a great night. Much love, much respect. Appreciate all of you. Good night.
Love you.
Good night.
There you
Thank
go.
you. God bless everybody. Ashe.
Ashe.